Hi guys, welcome back to the Wellness Club. My name is Cass. Thank you so much for listening. I am feeling amazing and I hope you're feeling just as amazing. I hope you're having a great start to November. I know I am because the Winter Arc Challenge started officially this weekend. And let me just tell you, it is so nice not only doing it, but also doing it with like-minded girls. Like this group is so cool and I'm just so happy to be a part of it. Like it's just so cool and I'm so excited for the next 8 weeks. But even if you're not doing it with us, do it on your own. Like dedicate these next 8 weeks to really sticking to your habits. Even if you just pick one habit, try to stick to it for 8 weeks. See if you can do it till the new year. I know a lot of people say like the holidays are such a busy time and I'm just going to wait until this all calms down. But the truth is, it never really calms down. Like there's always something going on. And when it comes to your goals, there's no better time than right now. Even if this time is messy and busy and chaotic, unfortunately, there will always be times like that. Like the summer's chaotic, the New Year's chaotic, the winter time is chaotic. It's always chaotic. So no better time than right now. And while I've been doing the Winter Arc stuff, I started a little bit early because I just wanted to test drive my program and see how it goes. So I've been doing it for a few weeks. And over this period of really taking care of myself, there's something that keeps coming up about actually loving yourself. I think we can all agree that we want to love ourselves. We want to appreciate ourselves. We want to look in the mirror and be happy with what we see. But the way to get there is not always so clear cut. And I think the message of self-love gets thrown around all the time. And I think it's a great message to have. But I think the path on actually loving yourself is not always as cut and dry as people make it sound. When you look up how to love yourself, the first thing that comes up is just, you need to believe it. You need to know that you love yourself. You need to know that you're loved. You are loved. It's all these affirmations, manifestations, people telling you you're loved, you're worthy, you're great, you're perfect the way you are. And while yes, 100% I agree that you are loved just for existing. Like, yes, I see that in you. I know that you are loved. I also know the other side of that it's very hard to believe someone else saying that to you if you don't see it in yourself. Somebody else could tell you all day, you're beautiful, you're great, you're worthy, you're loved, I love you, blah, 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 blah. But if you don't see it in yourself, it's very hard to believe that person. And hearing the advice of you just need to start saying it to yourself is not really helpful because you're probably wondering like, okay, but how? How do I do that? I know I need to love myself, but how? How can I live my life every day loving myself and believing in myself? What I'm going to tell you today is going to be different than most of the advice that's out there on this topic. I'm not going to tell you the manifestations. I'm not going to tell you the affirmations, the mushy gushy love notes, and I'm definitely not going to tell you to just take a bubble bath and put eye patches on. I'm going to tell you the real stuff on how to actually get there because trust me, I've been there. And the way that you really get out of this is not just high-fiving yourself in the mirror, although short term that can be great. It's going to be work to actually go on a journey of loving yourself. Short-term little habits, yes, they definitely add up. They definitely feel good. They definitely pour into that cup of yours. But the real stuff to take you on a journey of loving yourself takes work. It takes effort. It takes a decision of knowing I'm going on this journey with myself. The first thing that you have to do is you have to decide today that you're going on a journey that may take you 3 months. It may take you a year. It may take you 3 years. True self-love is a journey. And on that journey, it's so much more than affirmations and journaling and smiling in the mirror. The way that you actually love yourself is by proving that you love yourself. This is the part that I think a lot of people miss on this topic because you can't just prove something that you have no evidence for. You can't just prove that you love yourself if you have no evidence that you actually do. If you're saying, I love myself in the mirror, and then you go and break every promise that you said you would do to yourself, like skipping the gym, skipping the meal prep, skipping the boundaries that you set with somebody, skipping the plans you said you would do, and then you just feel sorry for yourself. How do you expect yourself to believe that you actually love yourself if that's how you treat yourself? How can you believe something that you have no evidence is true? You need to prove this to yourself just like you prove anything else to yourself that something is true. It's like saying, I'm an athlete, but I've never picked up a ball. I've never put on a pair of sneakers. I've never been outside. I've never practiced anything. Would anybody believe that I'm an athlete? No. So how can you say, I love myself, and then not treat yourself as if you love yourself? This is the hardest part about self-love because nobody talks about this part and nobody's going to tell you this part because this part is the uncomfortable part. And it's even uncomfortable for me to say this to you because I feel like I'm hurting feelings, but this is what I needed to hear when I was in my lowest point of not loving myself. And every act of self-sabotage and hating on myself and sabotaging my goals was proving more and more that I shouldn't love myself because I was giving up on myself. Most people are going to look at you and tell you, you're perfect the way you are. You just need to believe that. And I'm here to tell you, when you feel so bad about yourself, you're not going to feel perfect the way you are because you know that you're not doing things up to your highest standard. Yes, you are worthy. Yes, you are awesome. Yes, you are great and fantastic. But when you feel so low and horrible about yourself and you feel sorry for yourself, it's impossible to believe in yourself. So it doesn't resonate when someone just says, oh, you're perfect the way you are. You just need to believe it. Because deep down, you know, I don't feel perfect the way I am because I am pushing my own boundaries. I am giving into other people and people pleasing and not taking care of myself and then feeling sorry for myself. You can be worthy of love and affection and still want to improve yourself. In fact, I think the highest form of self-love is improving yourself. And if you've done this before, you know this because when you feel your absolute best, it's when you're not only just doing the things that are easy, but you're doing the things that are hard. You're doing the things that suck to prove to yourself that you love yourself, to prove to yourself that you take care of yourself. And it doesn't just have to be going to the gym or eating meal prep or whatever. Showing that you love yourself is showing up for yourself. And I'm telling you, when you decide today that this is what you need to do, everything else in your life is going to start coming together because you're going to start taking risks and making decisions that actually benefit you and better you. You're going to start taking risks on that job or that career or that side hustle. You're going to start taking better care of yourself physically and mentally. You're going to start surrounding yourself with better energy and better opportunities. The person that loves themselves the most is dedicated to constantly making themselves better and making the world around them better. Because once you start internally, it pours out of you. Even if you don't notice it, other people will be inspired. Other people will want to be around you. Other people will be attracted to that self-love. Like, I don't know, think about somebody that really takes care of themselves. It's admirable. It's inspiring. Self-love isn't just saying, oh, I'm perfect, or listening to a meditation that says, you're perfect, you're worthy, you're fantastic, you're great. Yes, I think every single human being on this planet is worthy of love and affection. But I'm not talking about how other people perceive you. I'm talking about how you perceive you. And truthfully, the only way to change how you perceive yourself is to change how you show up for yourself. And the reason I can say all of this is because I've been there and I'm still there. And there are seasons where I fall into this, but I can tell you from experience, when you start showing up for yourself, the love follows. You start pouring into yourself. We will show up for every other person around us but ourselves. You'll make sure your family, your kids, your partner gets a healthy meal because you love them, but then you'll eat the scraps or the chips or the leftovers or whatever that's not really healthy. You'll make sure your partner, your family, your friends, whoever are mentally good. You'll check in with them. You'll ask them if they need anything. You'll let them vent to you. You'll give them advice. You'll help them. You'll be there for them. You'll take things off their plate. But you won't do the same thing for yourselves. You won't show up to the therapy office or journal or take the 10 minutes to do a gratitude journal. We show so much love to other people and other things around us, but then we feel sorry for ourselves that we don't have time to pour into our own cup. And it's really hard to feel confident and love yourself and look in the mirror and say, I'm doing a great job, if inside you don't feel like you're doing a great job for yourself. You can do a great job for everyone else, and that's a little bit fulfilling. But if you're neglecting everything else for yourself, you still won't feel fulfilled. You'll still feel guilt that you skipped that workout or that you skipped that thing you told yourself you would do. I'm telling you this with so much love in my heart because I'm telling you I've been there. Like, this is not judgmental or like me trying to say like, oh, I'm just out of this and here's what you need to do, because I'm not. There are seasons where I fall right into this, just like you, just like everybody else. We all fall into seasons of feeling so bad about ourselves and insecure. And even if somebody tells you, you're beautiful, stop being so hard on yourself, stop doubting yourself, it's so hard to believe when someone says that to you if you know that on the inside or in private moments, you're not showing up for yourself. The way that you actually start loving yourself is you need to decide right now, today, that this feeling stops. It stops today. All the breaking yourself down, all the hating yourself in the mirror. You have to look yourself in the mirror and say, this stops today. But you can't just stop there because that will quite literally do nothing. You'll be right back to your old patterns, your old thoughts. When you decide that this stops, you also have to decide that you're going on a journey that, like I said, it might take a while and the journey will not be linear. The progress will not be linear, but if you take a step back and look at it from far away, you're going up, right? There might be some peaks and valleys, but you're going in a positive trajectory towards loving yourself. And it's not going to be linear. It's not going to be straight up, right? You're going to have the peaks, you're going to have the valleys, but you need to decide that the way that you've been feeling about yourself changes today. When you think about somebody that really loves themselves, they take care of themselves. They pour into themselves. They don't neglect what they know they need to do. They don't neglect what they've been saying they're going to do. When you think about somebody that you love, right? Somebody that you love so much, you love the most, you would do anything for them. You would do literally anything for them, even if it's inconvenient, even if it's hard, even if it's challenging, even if it's painful, you would do that for them. So why don't you do it to yourself? Why don't you do the things that are inconvenient, but you know will be good for you? Why don't you do the things that might be short term, a little bit painful, but you know it will be good for you? We're so quick to do it for everyone else. We're so quick to show up for everybody else. And I'm not saying this is a journey of just, okay, I'm going to be selfish and just take care of myself. You can absolutely still care about everybody around you. Just don't forget to include yourself in that to-do list. I saw this thing before that said, okay, write down the top 10 things that you love or something like that. And people write their family, their friends, their partner, their kids, whoever. And not a single person writes down themselves on the list of things that they love. And I know that sounds like a little bit selfish or like not humble or maybe a little narcissistic if like the top thing you love is yourself. It's just kind of like a metaphor of we forget ourselves in our list of things to take care of. I mean, you won't miss any other obligation for your friends, your family, your kids, your partner. You won't forget a single thing. You'll make sure that you get it done, but you'll skip over things that will genuinely change your life and genuinely change how you feel about yourself. Even if physically nothing changes, you will look at yourself differently in the mirror. You will show up differently when you wake up in the morning. And I really feel this in my soul because I feel this. Like I go through this. I go through seasons of feeling like I don't even like myself, you know, like we go through those phases. And I can tell you firsthand, I've never gotten out of that by just looking at myself in the mirror and saying, okay, I'm great. I just need to believe it. The way that I start to believe it is when I prove it to myself that I should believe it. And the way that I prove it to myself is doing the hard things that are good for me. It's waking up when I don't feel like it. It's going to the gym when I don't feel like it. It's going to that friend thing that I don't feel like going to. It's meal prepping when I don't feel like it. It's putting healthy foods in my body when I don't feel like it. It's doing things that I usually don't feel like doing, but genuinely make me feel better. And this is what happens like when I train people is they'll start taking care of themselves. And even if it's twice a week of doing a 20-minute workout, they show up in rooms differently. And it just radiates off of them that they care about themselves. There's like this glow in you when you start taking care of yourself. And physically, it will be too short to even show any physical change, but they start to feel it internally and you show up different. I can't explain it, but it happens. Now, if you're listening to this and you write affirmations every day and it really helps you, absolutely keep doing it. I'm not saying to stop that, but I am saying if you leave that little notebook and you realize, okay, I'm right back into my old thought patterns, you got to start doing the things that match what you're writing down. I know people that do affirmations regularly and they swear by it, but they don't just write down, I'm hardworking, I'm ambitious, I'm successful, without also having the routines to match that. So when they write that down, they also show up for themselves. They network with people. They reach out to people on LinkedIn. They have different habits and patterns to match what they're writing down. Too often, the advice is like, okay, if you want to just be more confident and more secure within yourself, write down, I'm confident, I'm beautiful, I'm this, I'm that. But then you look in the mirror and you pick yourself apart. You hate how you look. Your clothes don't fit you right. You feel horrible. Writing that stuff down is only going to last a quick second. Doing the real work is what gets the real changes. This is honestly why, too, I started the Winter Arc Challenge, because it's partly a self-love journey. And it's still showing up for people. It's still having community and being around people and still being there for your friends and your family and everybody else. But it's having something, some kind of structure in your day that you know is just for you. Like, that's what it is for me, at least. Like, I'm doing it with everybody. And I just know when I do these things that I said I was going to do, the rest of my day goes better. I'm lighter. I'm nicer. I'm kinder. I'm calmer. I'm more patient. I feel more confident. I'm happy with how I look in the mirror, even though nothing's changed. You know, I know that even if things are a little bit off, I did what I had to do to show up for myself, and it feels so good. And your things could be completely different. Like, that's also why with the challenge, everyone has different habits and different routines and different everything, because we're all different. What makes me feel really good might be different than what makes you feel really good, and that's okay. I'm saying work out, eat healthy, take care of myself, get my steps in, because that's what makes me feel proud of myself. But your thing might be reading the Bible for 10 minutes, going to a youth group, mentoring a teenager, whatever. Like, you could think of so many things that would make you feel really fulfilled, but it's usually things that are a little bit inconvenient. Sometimes you're not going to want to do them, but the point is, even when you don't feel like it, you show up anyway. There's no worse feeling than hating yourself. I can tell you that right now. Even like being inconvenienced or doing something I don't feel like, that feels better than absolutely hating myself. And I've been there. Like, I've so been there. And usually those seasons of feeling like I just don't like myself come from not showing up for myself, treating myself like I don't like myself, eating horribly, skipping out on the gym, skipping out on my habits, telling myself I'll start next week, I'll start tomorrow, I'll start in the future. That's a quick recipe for not liking how you feel, not liking your life, not liking anything. The recipe for loving yourself is doing the thing that's been weighing on you, because you already know the exact thing that you need to do, because you probably think about it every single day, and there's always some kind of excuse. There's always something else more important. There's always something else going on. And that thing still reminds you every single day that you need to do it. Maybe you wake up and you say, today's the day I'm going to go to the gym. And then every day it passes by, and you feel that weight, that guilt of not doing it. That's the exact thing you need to do to take the first step on going on your self-love journey. And trust me when I tell you, you will feel unstoppable when you make that decision and you actually do it. And the first thought you're going to have afterwards is, why did it take me so long to do this? Why was it so hard in my mind to actually show up and do this? Because our mind plays tricks on us. Our mind makes us think, this thing is so hard, it's so complicated, I don't have time, it takes up too much energy, too much time, whatever, I don't know what I'm doing. But then magically you do it. And you figure it out. And it might be a little bit bumpy along the way. It might not be perfect, but you figure it out and you're proud of yourself. So don't forget, on your list of all the things you have to do this week, all the things you have to take care of, don't forget to add yourself on that list. I love you guys. Thank you so much for listening. Let's show up for ourselves this week in the highest form. And I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye.